tips and tricks. And so today we're going to be going over a few things with Excel and integration with Teams and all of that fun stuff. If you guys do not know me, my name is Caitlin. I am a full-time employee here at the Fulcrum Group, and I am a good resource for you in regards to Microsoft applications. You can reach out to me at any time. At the end of the session, I will leave in the chat my information to get a hold of me, email, and phone number. So I will go ahead and get started. Again, today is all about Excel. I'm very excited to go over settings, tips and tricks, and integration within Teams. So settings. What I'll also demonstrate for you guys is how to, one, get into Excel, get to your settings, all the options that you have available to you. As you can see right here, there is a lot of customization you can do. So you can edit your ribbon in Excel, and you can edit the font to where every time that you log in, this is going to be your default font and size. So we'll go over that here in a little bit. This is just a little preview. Today, we're also going to be going over tips and tricks. So we're going to learn how to create pivot tables, freeze panes, use formulas, produce data validation, and use tabs. Not only that, but we'll be able to filter, sort, conditional formatting, fill cells, and cell type by the end of today's session. And then again, Excel does integrate with Teams. I'm very excited to show you how you can create an Excel spreadsheet, add an Excel spreadsheet to any team channel you are in. Whether this is data that you want to share with your team and have it readily available for everybody to just toggle over, you guys will also be able to use that feature within Teams. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to bring over my Excel spreadsheet. Today, I am an owner of ice cream. I was super excited thinking about what I was going to own and use as an example, and today it's ice cream. So as you can see, this is just basic. These are your columns, these are your rows, all of that. And I'll show you how you'll be able to use this, and looks like we might have a newcomer. Awesome, welcome. I'll show you how to basically fix this how you would like and customize it for you. First off, once you have clicked into your Excel application or web base, you'll want to go to File. When you go to File, you can go down to your options, and it will show you all of your settings for Excel. A few ones, like I had mentioned, is your default font. Whatever font that you want to use, you can use a drop down and figure out which font you would like. So every time that you reopen, it'll use that font. Say your company or your team has their own branded font that you guys want to use. Everything is just the same, streamlined. You all can go in and pick the exact same font and font size, all of that. Formulas. So there's a bunch of different customization you can do. One of my favorites is the custom ribbon. So this ribbon is going to be what you see up here, and you can customize what you want on it, what you want to view, what you want your tabs to say. You can add a tab, take off a tab, and then it can apply, and then you'll see it view up here. I'm going to go ahead and add a certain tab that I know I'm going to use later to show you a few extra tips, and that's going to be the developer tab. I'm going to go into customize ribbon, click on the tabs that I would like, and then I'm going to press OK. When I press OK, you can see that it has already jumped up on my ribbon, and now I can use all of these features and functions. So you might want to go in, File, Options, and check out what you want on your ribbon and what you'll use them for. You can also do font, all this stuff. Everything that you would want on your ribbons, you can customize. your quick access toolbar. So that is going to be this up here. You can use save, autosave, undo, and any other add-ons that you would like. So if you just want to play around with Excel and your features and settings, that is how you would do it. If you want to reset everything, you can start from scratch, but I'm going to go ahead and press OK. So once I've settled and I've gotten all of my settings how I want them, I'm going to go ahead and start adding in my information. Of course, to save on some time, I went ahead and added information into an Excel spreadsheet to save us, of course, time. So I am an ice cream maker, and I want to kind of keep track on a monthly basis how many flavors I have, the types. So if I have them seasonal all year round, and of course regional if I'm just distributing it all over. Also the size, if I want a pint or a scoop, maybe it's an ounce, the quantity that I sold that month, the price of each quantity, and then the total cost that I'm bringing in that month. It's a pretty number. So if I want all of these columns and rows to be spaced out to look nice, I can either go over here to the A and space it out. You can double click, and it'll bring it in or bring it out for you to make sure everything is spaced correctly. Now, up here, you can see my title. Currently, I'm just in one cell. If I want this title to go along all cells, I'm going to take it, and then I'm going to highlight all the cells that I want it to be in. And of course, I'm going to go to Home and then Margin Center. Now I have a nice centered title, and I can look at all of my stuff. If I want everything to be evenly spaced out, I can highlight the whole table. And if I want all of my columns to be spaced out correctly, all I have to do is then double click. That's a quick way to have everything spaced out the way that you like it. And of course, rows are the same way. I don't think I have, let me show you. So vanilla, you're way too spaced out for me. I'm going to come over here, double click, and it reverts it back. So that's kind of just placing all of your information in, kind of making it look nice. We'll go in and discuss all different types of things that you can do with your cells. So you can format them with conditional formatting. Say you want to only focus on the rows that have, or the total costs that are above a certain amount or a certain quantity, you can go ahead and format, and it can change into a different color. And I'll kind of show you how that looks like. So let's see, we'll do some, you could do color scales, bars, highlight cell rules. Let's do less than. I'll do if it's less than, I'm going to highlight it. Let's see, I need to be in. Okay, highlight cells less than 1,000. I want to be able to go and see where maybe my my flavors aren't being bought as much. Maybe I won't use that next year or anything like that. So if I kind of want to keep track of that, or if it is, let's see, highlight cells greater than 4,000, and I want to change this color to be a green, that's where I need it. I don't know why I didn't do that. Here, hold on. Let me manage my rules. Let's see, edit rule is less than there. 4,000, it's going to be there. This one. Okay. Format only cells that are greater than 4,000. Let's see if it'll format. Apply. Okay. Sorry about that. Let me see, formatting greater than. And you are going to be green. Greater than 4,000. So anything that is greater than 4,000 is going to be green. I can also change the formatting on that, but I'll do that later. So you can play around with the highlighting and conditional formatting. Of course, you can do any type of rules that you want, color scales, icon settings, whether maybe the 4,000 has a green arrow up. You can just kind of play with all of those and manage your settings. If there is a setting that you do not like, you can go in always and manage them. Like I just did, you can see your settings, create a new one, edit them, and you can do any type of manipulation that you need. There's that. You can also insert, delete, and format. There's all different types of things that you can use. Formulas I really, really like. As you can tell right here, the total cost is the quantity times the price. If you look at the cell up here, it will show you the equation that I use, which is equal sum, and then the little star tallies that you can use. It will multiply those two together, which will create my total cost at the end. You can also use the auto sum, average, count numbers, max. These are quick, already quick formulas you can use for certain specific columns or information that you would like. So count numbers, average, I can take an average of all of my information. I'm going to go ahead and click out of this. I'm going to delete this formula. If I want, like right now, I have all of the sums. So it's the average of everything. If I wanted to, I could come in here. And I'm going to average it. So all I had to do was go up here, auto sum, and it already averaged that whole entire column for me. I'm going to enter, and there's my number again. So you can use this super quick, super easy. Sometimes if you want to get the max or the min or the average of anything that you would like, those are quick, easy functions you can use. Of course, there's more functions you can use once you're more comfortable. If you're not using them already, definitely something to look into. So another few tips that I would like to show you is if you have, let's say you want the width to be 12, but you see that there are certain rows of like row or column A, row 7, it goes way past the width I would like it. I could always wrap the text. When I wrap the text, it will then, everything will be visible in that one cell for you. Another quick, easy thing, I'm going to highlight the whole table. I'm going to make everything centered, or I can make everything to the left, to the right, but I'm going to be centered and centered up here. So everything kind of looks good. I'm going to wrap this. I'm going to wrap this. So those are simple things that you can use. Another thing, so for my total costs, I'm going to use the numbers over here. So if you are using percentages, or maybe there's decimals that you need in any of your cells, or pricing. So for this, I want to use pricing. I want everything to have a price tag on it. So I know that this is money coming in. So I'm just going to highlight my column. I'm going to go ahead. I know that everything in this column is going to go ahead and need a number, a price tag. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. Same with E. I'm going to go ahead and do that as well. Quantity can stay the same. I'm good with that. Anything like that. If you want to customize it some more, if you want to play around with your fill color, you could always do any type of color that you like, color code it. You can also change the color font, or the color to your font at any time, and you can color code it to anything that you want. Let's see, what else? You can insert pictures, shapes, icons. It's kind of standard for any of the Microsoft applications, of course. And then links, text box, any of that stuff, you can go ahead and insert into your Excel spreadsheet if you would like. Page layout, let's see. I did find what I thought was really, really cool is that you can split your Excel spreadsheet. So this is going to split it if you have different data that you want to kind of sort through, sift through. Maybe you want all quarters on one, but you don't want to add more sheets at the bottom. You just want them on one sheet. You can put a quarter here, a quarter there, and then of course it will drag up and down for you, so you can split your screens. You can also freeze your pane. So up here, by freezing your pane, basically, I can freeze either just the top column and row, or I can just freeze the top row or the first column. When I do that, when I do any type of freeze, it can freeze, and then when I scroll, here, I have to start from there, sorry. Unfreeze and then freeze again. When you do that, you can scroll and sorry. I am just not having a good time today. Let's see. Freeze my panes. Am I still? Okay, there we go. Freeze. So when I'm still split. So when you're freezing, you can go up and down, and that's just doing the first row and all that. Let me see. I'm going to undo this. Control Z. Okay. Let me look. I do want to go into pivot tables. I know that was a big thing that people had suggested last time, and pivot tables are very, very interesting, and they are very useful. I've already kind of started a pivot table sheet. Typically, pivot tables, I like to keep them in the front because you can use all of your data on your sheets in this one pivot table. I had my pivot table at the end, so I'm easily able to drag it to the front. Now with pivot tables, I can go ahead and start a whole new sheet. So pivot tables, you can go up and you can look at your inserts. Your inserts, you're going to have pivot tables or recommended pivot tables for the data that you want. I'm going to go ahead and use my own, start from scratch. It's going to ask you a table and range. So you can go to any of your sheets and you can kind of highlight the rows that you want to keep in there. Of course, there's that. Let's see, I'm going to start from here because I want all of my top rows to be included as well. And then I'm going to start from scratch. So then over here, you have all of your pivot table fields. I have my flavor, my type, size, and so forth. Down here, I can click on what I want to show. So what do I want out of these in my pivot table? Maybe I want to focus on the flavor and the price or the quantity. Maybe I want to keep track of the total cost. So how much am I selling, and then the total cost of what I'm bringing in. I can use those, and then I can also move these around. So say I want it to look like this, columns, and it'll manipulate your pivot for you. So right here, you can see even my banana nut, I can kind of, if I don't want to see the separated, because I do have a seasonal or these are my sizes. So I had my scoop and my pint. If I don't want to see all of it, I can just minimize it there with my minus and positive sign there. But this is kind of a pivot table. As soon as I update my spreadsheet, it will also update my pivot table. So if I were to go over to my flavors, and Mango Tango did not make the cut this last month, so I'm going to say 0. It was 0 quantity was sold. I got 0. So I'm going to go back to my pivot table. I can go to, let's see, it's going to be, there is a setting that you can use that automatically refreshes it for you. But you can also go to the pivot table and analyze and refresh it. And then my Mango Tango, I sold nothing last month in my Mango Tango. So that is a way you can kind of keep all of your information in one place, summarize everything, just refresh it, and there you go. There's different types of pivot tables that you can use. You can use pie charts as well. So if I want to kind of visualize how much of everything is being sold or total cost, I can use pivot tables. They're charts, or maybe it's a graph that I would prefer. You can use anything like that. If it is a graph, I can also look at the values on my graph, and I can change this to make it look a little bit nicer, but you can go around and manipulate and edit all of your total costs. And maybe I just want certain of those. It'll change for me. So all of that you can manipulate and change. It'll also change this for you. I want to go back to select all. So that's definitely a couple of things that you can do to summarize your data in your Excel spreadsheet. If it's costs that you're looking at, if it is inventory that you're looking at, how much you have in-house, this is definitely a great way to keep track of everything fast glance. Does anyone have any questions at this point on pivot tables, or is this something that you guys already use? Is it something that you could use? Are we good? So definitely a nice feature to have to kind of summarize everything at the front. I do like to have a quick glance of things. That way we know where we are. And that's pivot tables. We went over freezing panes, using formulas, those quick, easy ways. And then you can use tabs. So like I said before, in your pivot table, you can use different ranges within different sheets on one pivot table sheet. So if I were to have a whole year worth of sheets, so from January until December, I can use certain data from that and place it on my pivot table by using that date range that we used earlier. So all of that, these are tabs. If you want to add new sheets, you can add it, you can rename, insert, delete, or you can move, anything like that. So that's how you can use tabs and pivot tables and anything like that. So we went over the cell type, which is money, percentage-wise, pivot tables. Filtering is the next thing that I would love to cover. So flavors. We're going to go back to my first sheet. Flavors, if I want to have filters on, maybe I want to sort everything in alphabetical order, or I want to filter my top line, I can go and I can create a filter. When I create a filter, it'll put, first you'll want to highlight all the cells you want to create a filter on. Once you create a filter, you will have a drop down over here, and it will show everything that you want. You can sort it alphabetically, sort by color, anything like that. So if we were in this, we can sort by color. We can deselect and select everything. So maybe there's only certain few that I would love to take a look at. I want to do all of those. I can press OK, and it'll show me all of the ones that I had pressed. If I want to take away that filter, I will press that filter button, and I can either clear filter or I can just select all again. Now, if there is maybe some, maybe I want to bring row 38 up, I can cut my row and I can click on the row that I want it to be above, insert, cut cell, and then it is replaced. You can also delete. Let's see. I can clear my contents. If maybe I just want to clear the contents and not necessarily the formula that is within the row, I can click here, clear contents, and there we go. It is clear. But my formula is still there. So that's for anything that's changing. You want to copy paste, anything like that. Okie dokie. Let's see. There is one. Let me think. There is. But everything is super easy. I think there is one. I'm trying to. Sorry. I know that there is one thing that I would love everyone to look into. If we have time today, I can go over it. But it's more, it's for macros. So there was a feature that I saw that you can use, and there we go. There's that beauty, macros. So if it's something that you repeatedly do, so I am big on spreadsheets. I love spreadsheets. And it's where I collect all of my data. It's where I know when things are coming and going, if we need more stuff, etc. So if you use your macros, this is a feature you can use. And basically, if you do the same thing every month, but with different data, you can use a macro, and the macro you can record, which is basically the computer, the application itself is recording all of your every little click, every little highlight, everything that you do, every little formula. And when you come to the next month, all you have to do is highlight the cells that you want or the data that you want the macro to be involved with, click the macro button, and it will go ahead and do everything for you. It'll go ahead and use this color. It'll use these formulas or formatting. It will use everything for you. So I really do love the macro where, let me see if I can. So for instance, if I wanted to create a format for a conditional format for this row and space everything out accordingly, I can go ahead and record my macro. So you can view your macros, so macros that you've had saved, and you can record your macro. So I can record it. You can do a macro name. It does not allow spacing, so you can use an underscore. I'm going to say flavor data. Okay. So I have to resave it as something else. Looks like that one. Save. Okay. Okay, to save this file with these features, click no, and then choose macro enabled file. Nope. Okay. Let me go back. Let me go back. To resume autosave, save the macro enabled file type. I bet it won't let me. Stop recording. View macros. Okay, cancel. record. Number 2. Okay. So I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to go to my, see, where's my, there it is. Conditional formatting. I'm going to highlight anything less than 1,000. Again, is going to be red. Another one, I'm going to highlight the cell. Anything greater than, let's do 5,000 this time, is going to be green. Okay. And then here, I'm going to have my auto sum equals, and then I'm going to have this spaced out accordingly, have this highlighted and merged. And then I'm going to go to my macros. I'm going to stop recording. So let's go here. So let's say I have, see if I can just go ahead and undo everything that I did. This macro should be saved. There we go. Go here, view macros, run it. Location defined. Okay, I'll have to look into that. I'll look into that later. But after you've recorded it and everything, you will be able to go here, view macros. If you do have issues, please contact us. But you can view your macros and you can apply it. Once it is applied, it will, everything that you have highlighted, it will go ahead and be used. So all of the formatting that I did is saved. And as soon as I apply it, it will go ahead and view. Really cool tip there. Is there anything that you guys would like to discuss in Excel? Any questions that you guys may have? Anything that you have come across that while using it and would like to discuss?
Hi, Caitlin. I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So I often get spreadsheets where I have to add in information like from our end. Is there a way to like say, hey, everything new is going to be either in a different color font or a different style of font or something, some way to identify instead of just me having to highlight everyone or me having to manually do something to flag those as new data that I'm inputting?
New data that you're inputting. That's a very good question. Let me see to make sure. So you're basically importing different
so like I've been given a spreadsheet and then I need to add in data, either more rows or more columns or something like that. Columns are easy because then I just highlight the column, but if I have to add a row or two, but I'm still inputting the same data that's already there, using the same fields, I don't know how to, if there's an easier way to just say, these are all from Susan.
Those are all from Susan. We can work with that after this if you'd like, or set up some time together and we can go over that. Because I do have a couple of ideas, but because I'm sure there is something that you can do where it will show that you've made, like what contribution you've made and so forth. So
that would be helpful because I use that a lot.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Yes, let's make your job easier. We can definitely go over that if you want, if you have time after this session.
Okay.
Are there any other questions? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and show you then Teams. So I use Teams, and I know a lot of you guys have Teams. So for any type of team that I have, I can go in here and For any Excel sheet that you have, like any type of channel that you have, if you want to share or save an Excel spreadsheet to your team's channel, you can always go to the channel. And when you go to the channel, you're going to look at your top and there's going to be a plus sign. So you can add a tab. And this is for any other applications that you would like to add. I love Smartsheet lists. Even your lists, you can import Excel spreadsheets into. I know list was something that I'm going to dive in deeper into in the future, and I'll show you how to import Excel in your lists. But if you just want to add a tab, you can press Excel, you can add the tab name, you can go through all of your files on any Excel spreadsheet that you want, save, and it will upload to your tab. That way, anyone within that channel can just toggle over to your Excel spreadsheet, look at everything. They can also make contributions if they'd like, anything like that. So I do love Teams in the fact that you can add tabs. You can look through any other application that you might use. I'm big on Smartsheet too, Excel, lists, even OneNote. OneNote is very nice as well, which we went over last time. So any type of application you'd like to add, you can as a tab. Excel is one of those applications, and you can save a specific spreadsheet to a specific channel. So if it only pertains to certain people, you can do that as well. So that is good on Microsoft Excel and Teams integration. You can add all of those in through your tabs. So let's see. Does anyone have any questions over that? Everyone has access to Teams and channels, and you're able to use that feature. If you guys have any questions or if you guys have any issues, please feel free to reach out to me. And again, I will put my information at the end of this channel, at the end of the training. If you guys would like to dive in deeper for Excel training, I did want to leave you with a link. So this link will take you to the Microsoft support forum automatically. If you guys want to write that down, I'll allow some time for you guys to jot it down, or I can also copy and paste it into our chat so you guys can use it later. But this is definitely a great tool to use to go in for quick little tips, whether it's something specific they're great at sectioning off certain things. So if it's something particular that you want to go to, you can just click on the specific video you want to watch, and it typically is 3 to 5 minutes. So I really, really like the forum. Anything new features that come across, they also place that there. So it's very good. And then what is next? So last month, we talked about Microsoft Planner. Planner is something that not a lot of people know a lot about, so I'm super excited. I love lists and planning things, so this is definitely another topic that I'm excited about to share with you guys. So next month, March 11th, mark your calendars, we will be going over Microsoft Planner. And then also, if you guys haven't been here for our previous sessions, feel free to drop by our YouTube channel and subscribe. So every month, if you're not able to come join us on our time, that is okay. We always upload our recorded sessions. That's why we record them in the beginning, because we want to make sure that you guys have that available to you. So if you would love to pop by there for any other tips and tricks that you would like, please feel free to do so. And then again, so next month, it's going to be on March 11th, same weekday, same time, and everything like that. I am going